If you're an introvert who wants to build a YouTube channel without ever showing your face, without forcing yourself to be someone you're not, and without spending thousands of dollars on gear you don't need, then this video is going to save you a serious amount of time and frustration. I've put together the exact setup that I actually recommend in 2026, and I'm going to walk you through every single piece of it from scratch. Before we get into it, I want you to know something. There is a free community built specifically for introverts who want to build faceless YouTube channels, and you can find that link in the description below. It is a space where people like you are sharing wins, asking questions, and figuring this whole thing out together. I'll mention it again at the end, but go check it out after this video. Now let's get into the setup. The first thing I want to address is the myth that you need an elaborate, expensive studio to start a faceless channel. You do not. In fact, some of the highest performing faceless channels on the platform right now are being run by one person with a decent laptop and free software. The whole beauty of going faceless is that your production environment matters a lot less than your content strategy. So let's start with the mindset before we touch any equipment. As an introvert, your natural strengths are actually massive advantages on YouTube. You think before you speak. You tend to be more thorough and research-driven. You're comfortable spending extended time alone working on something. These are not weaknesses in the YouTube world. These are literally the traits that create great content. So if you've been telling yourself that you're not cut out for this platform because you don't like being on camera, I want you to flip that completely. Being off camera is your format, and 2026 is the best time in history to execute it. Alright, let's talk setup, starting with your computer. You don't need a powerhouse machine to run a faceless channel. A mid-range laptop or desktop with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM will handle most editing software just fine. If you're doing animated or heavily visual content, you'll want 16 gigabytes to avoid lag. But for the majority of faceless channel styles, including voiceover videos, screen recordings, and slideshow style content, 8 gigs is totally workable, especially when you're just starting out. Now let's talk audio, because this is where most beginners make their biggest mistake. On a faceless channel, your voice is often the only human element your viewers experience. If your audio sounds muffled, echoey, or tinny, people will click away before they even give your content a real chance. Audio quality matters more than video quality on a faceless channel. Say that out loud if you need to, because it's that important. You don't need to spend a fortune here. A USB condenser microphone in the $50 to $100 range will get you professional sounding audio right out of the box. Some of the most popular beginner options sit comfortably in that price window, and they plug directly into your computer with zero complicated setup. If you're recording in a room with a lot of echo, grab a pop filter and consider recording in a closet surrounded by clothes. It sounds ridiculous, but it genuinely works because soft materials absorb sound and reduce that hollow reverb effect. Next up is your screen recording and video editing software. For faceless channels that use screen recording as the core format, something like OBS Studio is completely free and incredibly capable. It handles screen capture and basic recording with ease. For editing, DaVinci Resolve is a professional-grade video editor that has a genuinely powerful free version. In 2026, both of these tools have improved significantly, and between them, you have everything you need to produce clean, watchable content without spending a single dollar on software. If you're doing more animation-heavy or presentation-style content, tools like Canva for designing slides and thumbnails also have leveled up considerably. Their video capabilities have improved, and for simpler faceless formats, a combination of Canva and a basic editing tool can absolutely get you a polished result. Let's talk about your channel structure for a second, because this is something most setup guides skip over, and it's genuinely important. Before you record a single video, you want to know 3 things. You want to know your niche, your content format, and your upload rhythm. Your niche is the topic area your channel focuses on. Your content format is the specific style of video that you'll produce within that niche, whether that's tutorials, list videos, explainers, commentary, or something else. And your upload rhythm is how often you realistically commit to posting. For introverts, I always recommend starting with 1 video per week maximum. Not because you're not capable of more, but because quality over quantity is genuinely the right call when you're building systems and finding your voice. It is better to have 4 really good videos in a month than 8 rushed ones that don't connect with anyone. Now let's talk about scripting, because faceless channels rely heavily on written content that gets turned into spoken audio. As an introvert, scripting is probably going to feel very natural to you. You can think through exactly what you want to say, refine it, cut out the fluff, and then record it. This is actually a huge advantage over creators who freestyle everything and ramble for several minutes before getting to the point. Write your scripts conversationally, the way that you would explain something to a friend rather than the way you'd write an essay. Keep sentences shorter, use plain language, and always lead with value, meaning don't spend 3 minutes on your intro before telling people what they're going to get from the video. Hook them fast, deliver consistently throughout, and end with something memorable. For recording your voiceover, you don't need to soundproof your video. You need a quiet space and the right microphone we already talked about. Record in small chunks if that feels more manageable. You can always edit pieces together. And here's a tip that introvert creators often love. Record multiple takes for sections you're not happy with right then and there in the same session. Don't overthink it live. Just say it again and you can choose the best take in editing. Thumbnails are a whole topic on their own, but I want to give you the quick version here. For faceless channels, your thumbnail cannot rely on a human face to create emotion and curiosity. That means your text, your colors, and your visual composition are doing all the heavy lifting. Keep thumbnails clean, use bold text that completes a thought or creates a question, and make sure the thumbnail and the title work together as a unit rather than just repeating each other. Contrast matters. Simplicity wins. And always design your thumbnail at 1200 by 675 pixels. Let's quickly talk about your channel homepage, because this is something that converts casual viewers into subscribers. You want a clear channel banner that communicates your niche immediately. You want a channel trailer that is under 60 seconds and tells someone exactly what your channel is about and why they should subscribe. And you want your About section filled with keywords that actually describe what you do. In 2026, YouTube search and recommendation systems are sophisticated enough that your metadata genuinely matters, so don't leave any of it blank. Here's the part nobody talks about in setup guides. The actual barrier for most introverted creators isn't the gear, it isn't the software, it isn't even the content ideas. It is the fear of putting something out there and having it judged. And I want to be really direct with you about this. Your first video is not going to be your best video. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be your first step. Every creator you admire right now had a terrible first video that they probably wish they could delete. The difference between them and someone who never started is simply that they posted it anyway and then kept going. Being faceless removes one massive layer of vulnerability because your physical appearance is never on the line. Use that. Let it free you to focus entirely on the quality of your ideas and your ability to communicate them clearly. Now, before you close this video, here's what I want you to do. First, write down your niche and your content format right now while it is still fresh. Second, check what software you already have access to and identify the one gap you actually need to fill. Third, and this is the most important one, go to the description and join the free community that I mentioned at the top of this video. It is a space designed specifically for introverts building faceless channels in 2026. You'll find people at every stage, resources to help you move faster in a space where you genuinely belong. You have everything you need to make this work. The setup is simpler than you think. The platform rewards consistency and quality over perfection. And being an introvert is not a disadvantage here. It might just be your single greatest asset.